Hello guys, I am back. This video, I wasn't sure whether to do it or not, but I actually had a lot of people, surprisingly, asking for this. So I thought I could do a solo Q&A, answer some of your questions like how I booked it, how much it was, why I did it, how I took my pictures, all that stuff. So I wrote down some of the questions because a lot of the questions obviously were similar, so I've just kind of like tried to combine them all in one. First question kind of was how much was my overall trip and how did I book it, who did I book it with. My trip, flights and hotel, I booked through BA, just directly through their website, and that cost me £1,040. Bear in mind, so I booked this in February to go in May, so to me that's quite quick, that's quite sudden. Normally you plan it like a year in advance or months in advance. So yeah, it was quite last minute. And I booked that through BA. I think I was there for a week. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, £1,000 a week. I got direct flights from Gatwick as well, which is a lot closer to me than Heathrow. 23 kg bag, like I can't complain. And I stayed at the Rosen in like Buena, Vista, whatever it's called. I did do a little bit of research before because I knew that the Rosen Inn, there's a few different Rosen Inns and some are closer to Universal, some are closer to Disney, so I knew that I wanted to stay at one of them. The reviews online were really mixed about the Rosen Inn, but if I'm being honest, it was a £500 difference to stay there or to stay in Disney, and I wanted to save £500, so I didn't really care. And then I booked my Disney tickets through Disney and they were £509, which I think is really good. I must have got some kind of deal when I booked it. That was for actually a 14-day ticket because that was cheaper than the 7-day. So I was like, I'm just gonna get the 14-day one. Overall, I kind of spent 1,500-ish, 1,550, which I think is really good for tickets and hotel and flights. Also my tickets included, I think I got 10% off at certain restaurants, which I didn't use, 15 or 20% off Shop Disney UK. Also Memory Maker was included with that, which I think it's always included with the UK deals. I thought that wasn't bad. 1,500 a week in May. I went May the 15th, I think, to the 23rd, 22nd. I decided just to book it individually, so like through BA and through Disney, just because I've never booked a trip myself. My mum always does the Disney trips. We always go as a family. We normally stay in villas, so I had never booked any of this. I was really out of my depth. I don't know why I was so confident booking it, to be fair. I mean, looking back, I still think I would have done the same because I've looked at recent trips for like going next year or whenever I can go again through package deals, and they all seem to be expensive anyway, so I don't know if I just got lucky and that was why. Have looked at attraction tickets and I would like to learn a bit more about attraction tickets because I know a lot of people book through them and they get really good deals and they find it really easy because obviously with things like cancellations or if you have like hurricane season, I know that booking through a certain company can always be good because then you are like protected and stuff. That was how I booked my trip and how much it cost. The hotel. So I really enjoyed the Rosen Inn. I had no problems with it. Lots of people said that it was dirty and I think that the staff were rude. That was what I saw a lot of online. But listen, it was a cheap hotel. Yes, it was very outdated. The room was very outdated, but I wasn't in the room. I was probably in the room for an hour to get ready and then I would sleep. I wasn't in the room. So for me, that wasn't a problem at all. The staff for me were really friendly. I really liked the staff. I was super worried because I was on my own and I've never been on my own in America. I've never been on my own period away. So I was really worried about that, but they were super lovely. Helpful when I was leaving because I had a late flight. They took my bags and stuff. Also, something positive about the Rosen Inn is there was no hotel tax. So the only thing I had to pay was a $50 deposit, which came out my account at like £35. But obviously I got that back at the end of the trip. That was just in case anything got broken, anything got ruined. But I didn't have to pay hotel tax because honestly, some of the hotel tax in some places is just ridiculous. So that was another positive that I didn't have to pay that. Sticking with like the hotel and that, I've had a few questions saying how was it staying off site and like how was going to the parks off site. I didn't mind staying off site at all. I know there's a lot of like slander about staying off site. I don't see the big deal. If it saves me £500, it saves me £500 and £500 is a lot of money. I mean, £500 was the cost of the Disney ticket, so I have no problem staying off site. Of course, it's a lot more of the Disney bubble on site. I mean, I've never stayed on site, so maybe I'll stay on site and then I'll never want to return. But I didn't see it as an issue. Obviously, it's a little bit longer at the end of the day because you've got like that little bit further to get back to your room. But I didn't see a problem staying off site. It really didn't affect me at all. Also at the Rosen Inn, which I should have used, but at the time I just couldn't be bothered, they have a shuttle that goes to, I want to say it goes to Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Disney Springs, Universal, and now Epic Universe. However, they were just at funny times. Like, I'm pretty sure like the Epcot one was at like 9:30, then not another one till 11:30, and then you could return at 4:30 or like 11 p.m. So they were like really funny staggered times, but I didn't try them, but they are there if you need to. I got Ubers every day, and I'm pretty sure I wrote down all my Ubers, and none of them were over like £15, even late at night. So I have written down that from the Rosen into Magic Kingdom it was $13, so whatever that is in pounds as well, was less. Then Animal Kingdom from my hotel was the most. I must be further, or again it could have been the times I was going that made it a little bit more. It was $14. Disney Springs back to my hotel was only $6. Hollywood Studios was $9 and Art of Animation was $10. I don't know why I didn't write down Epcot. I don't know what Epcot was from, but it would probably be around then. And I just did it either with Uber or Lyft. I would just see what was cheaper. It was so easy. That was like to the parks and stuff. Then I had a similar question saying, how did I get to and from the airport? So I was really stressed about this on the way there because I was like, oh God, I haven't booked a bus, I haven't booked a shuttle, I haven't booked a cab. Like, what if it's so expensive? Because BA was coming up, you could book a package as like a coach and it was £120, so 60 each way. I got an Uber to my hotel the first night, probably around 8:30, 9 p.m. This was from Terminal C, so don't get me wrong, it's a new terminal, it was a lot quieter. I don't know what it would be from the normal terminal. It was $30. And then on the way back to the airport, I left at probably 4 p.m. It was $20. $20! Do you know how good that is? So overall, I only spent $50 when I could have spent $120 if I did it through BA and been stuck on a coach that stops at each thing. Like, I just think that is so good. So overall on Ubers, I spent $156. It's quite a lot, but also that still only brings up my total of staying at the place to like, that only takes it to 1,700. So it's still less than staying at the park, because I was thinking, oh, but maybe my Ubers like will make it more expensive. Like maybe it is worth it to stay on site because you get the bus. It's not really. For me personally, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, I do want to stay on site, but I spent 156 on Ubers and I got them nearly every day to the park and back. Sometimes I even got them for, like from Animal Kingdom to Disney Springs and back. Like I got quite a lot. Again, I should have tried out the shuttle, but because I was only there for a week, I didn't want to sit on a shuttle for like half an hour, 40 minutes when I could have just got a cab. And also somebody said, how do I plan and know where to go? Girl, if you've seen my travel with me, pack with me, I am a control freak. I'm a control freak. I watch videos, I did research, I watched TikToks, I planned every moment down to the millisecond. That is how I did it. I think that's actually something that did help me going solo, because I had everything planned so down to the hour and knew what I wanted to do every day, knew where I wanted to eat. Like, I don't know, it just helped me. It helped me on the way there. Like on the airplane I was still planning. Every day I was changing things around. Like that did really help me, having like a structured plan. And obviously it helped me look forward to things, because rather than being nervous, I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm doing XYZ, or like when I get there I have this and that. That's kind of like the hotel travel aspect. Someone also actually asked me how I found the long haul flight. I don't mind flying, and also I have flown to Vegas on my own, so this wasn't my first solo like long haul flight. I found it fine on the way there. Obviously it was a lot easier because like I said, I was planning in my notebook. It was really exciting. I was doing all that, watched movies, ate food. The way back was questionable because I was like depressed and didn't want to leave and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure I just edited my content. I think I just did it all on my phone, but yeah, I think I'm fine being on my own. So this video might not be very helpful because I was just fine. Like, I don't know why I was fine. I think I can just be entertained very easily by a movie. or YouTube. I think I can just brain rot for like hours, so that was fine with me. And also, tell a lie, on the way there I did buy Wi-Fi on the flight, and that really helped because on the way there it was still like daytime in the UK, so I was just messaging everyone, and I'm pretty sure my Wi-Fi cost me like £12, £14. It wasn't bad at all, and I had really good Wi-Fi the whole way there. Don't think I did it on the way home because I was having a night flight, so I didn't see the point because everyone was asleep at home. It was like 3 AM, 4 AM at home, so there was no point for me buying the Wi-Fi. Okay, and then getting into like actual Disney, I had a lot of questions actually about like the rides and the queues. So one of them was, do most attractions offer single rider, and if I did, how did it like affect my wait time? I wish there was more single rider, to be honest. I know that Animal Kingdom, I only think I did 2 single rider queues. I know Rock and Roller has it, but I didn't go on that. Star Wars does have them, I didn't go on that. Everest was really good. Both times when I went to queue on Everest, the main queue was like 50 minutes. I think the first time I did queue for a little bit longer, I queued for like 25 minutes, but the second time was a walk on, 10 minutes, I just walked on. Ratatouille was like a 70-minute and I walked straight on. I'm sorry, even if I ever go with my friends or family again, see ya. Why am I gonna wait with you for 70 minutes when we could just wave at each other on a different vehicle and walk straight on? They should have never shown me single rider, because bye. So I loved single rider. Single rider was great. I like literally, I think I went on Everest one time and then got off and walked straight back on. It was so good. One time actually when I did go on Remy, the family was a little bit rude to me. The family were like, oh, is she coming with us? And I was like, yes. But that just happened to be that family didn't want me with them, but that was fine. No one else did that. Normally it's fine, because normally you might be like split with the 2 or whatever, so it was fine. Someone also said my entertainment for the queues, because I was by myself for like 70 minutes, and the queues was actually something I was really dreading, because I thought, how can I be by myself for 60, 70, 80 minutes? It was fine. It was so surprisingly fine. Like, I remember really putting off going on Tron on my first day because I was dreading being alone for like 70 minutes. I just edited all my pictures. Like, edited my pictures, made TikToks. Like, that's all I did. I don't know how I did that for 70 minutes, but... And like, I did a few long ones. I did... Tron was 70, I did Guardians twice and that was at least 50 both times. Avatar was 50, Flight of Passage was an hour. I think I just took a lot of pictures and was just going to town on my phone. Guardians, actually, that's a lie. Guardians, I was just looking at everything because that ride queue is so immersive. The whole way you're walking through, I was just watching everything. And you've got to remember that some of them, like Avatar and Guardians, have like a pre-show, and that pre-show is like in the time. But actually you're just watching the pre-show, so you're not just stood. I didn't mind rides at all, and that was one thing that I was really dreading, was queuing for rides. Similar to like kind of how the rides surprised me, I've had 3 questions saying what was the hardest thing, what was the easiest, and what was something that surprised me. The hardest thing about being alone was, for me, 7 days. I think where I hadn't been in so long, like my last trip was like 2017, 2018, I can't remember the date. But I only went for 7 days, which is a long time, and I'm not saying it's not a long time. I was glad to even go for a day. But where I hadn't been in so long and so much had changed, 7 days was just not enough. Like, I was exhausted every day. 8 AM waking up till getting home at like 11 PM every day. And that was my own choice. Like, I didn't have a chill day. I didn't not do Disney. I didn't even see the pool in my hotel. So that was the only hard thing. But again, that was my fault. That was because I was like wanting to see everything, wanting to eat everything, wanting to do everything. But I do think it was like a little bit longer, I would have had that time to like just chill. That was quite difficult. It was just like waking up every day. Waking up was a struggle every day. Being alone, the 2 things that really like, not irritated me, but just was like, was like when you're going for food, normally, like it's things you don't even think about. Normally, someone will go order the food and someone will get you a table. Well, when you're on your own, you can't do that. So I'd like have to order my food, and then I'd have the food and be like, I have nowhere to sit. Like I had to eat on the first day. I was so hungry and so over it. I just was eating my waffle on a bin, and like everyone was like, oh sorry, excuse me, let me put this in the bin, and I was like, okay, like that's fine. So that was something that was really just, because you know, like when the Florida heat, you're tired, you just want to sit and eat, and then you're walking around, sorry it's staying on my lip, and then you're walking around with your tray of food and you're just like, please, somebody. Dreaded eating at some points. And then also queuing for the fireworks and the parade. You can't move because you're on your own. You can't wee, you can't get food, you can't do anything. Like, I forgot the luxury of having parents, because I remember when I was a kid, my mum and dad would, either me and my sister would wait and they'd go get us Casey's or popcorn or whatever, bring it to us, and we'd be having the time of our life. Or me and my sister would go get something while they waited. Not this time. I was sat with my Casey's for like an hour and a half, dying for a week, couldn't move. Same for the parade. I had to sit on the edge of Main Street for like an hour. My bum was burning on the pavement, but I was not giving up my spot. So that was something that I just didn't even consider. You're gonna have to not move because your spot will be gone like that. That was probably the only two things. Being tired and yeah, not like being able to hold a space. That was something I didn't even think about. The easiest thing was just like the whole thing, like being in Disney. As soon as you step in Disney, like as soon as I got off that plane, I didn't feel alone. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like there's so much to do and there's so many people there that are alone. Like I can't describe it. Everyone always says like no one cares, no one knows you're alone. It's so true. Do you understand how many people are there on their own? Do you understand how many people are filming content, making videos, waiting for their friends, waiting for their family? Like, someone told me before I left and said, people won't know whether you're on your own or whether your boyfriend's back at the hotel or whether your family's on a ride and you didn't go on it. Like, it's so true. No one knows you. No one knows you're alone. No one cares that you're alone. And it's so true. No one cares. I just didn't feel alone. Even like I had a question saying, was it easy? Did you find it awkward, scary? And how did I overcome like vlogging in public? It just wasn't scary. Like, I get awkward vlogging at home. I've vlogged in New York, I've vlogged in Manchester, I've vlogged in London. Like, I still get a little bit awkward. For some reason in Disney, I was like a mad woman talking to myself in the camera, and I had a massive camera. I cannot stress enough, if you are worried about taking your Sony cameras or your DJIs, I took this. This is what I took and nobody gave a crap. So you will be fine with your little DJI, I promise you right now. I was sat in restaurants talking to myself. Obviously I had questions, like I had a waitress ask me in Tony's like, oh, are you a content creator? And I just said yeah. I had a couple people ask my YouTube, but if anything they were really sweet and really lovely, and then they like followed me and subscribed to me. So in my head it was just promoting my stuff anyway, which I didn't care because I want people to see my stuff, so I didn't mind people asking me. I just really didn't find it awkward, and I don't know why I didn't. I think, yeah, I just know that there's so many content creators in Disney because I watch so many. I was like, well, they don't know if I've got 5 subscribers or 5,000 or 5 million. Like, they don't know who I am. So for all they know, because I did have the big camera and the microphone, they probably thought I was way more successful than I am. So if anything, it made me look a little bit better than I am. Also, I just kept telling myself, because I've had a lot of girls message me saying that they want to vlog their trip, or like, how did I do it? Is it not scary to post it? But for me, one, it's my memories. So why would I not want to watch back my own memories? 2, I just had in the mindset, worst case, film it all, edit it all. Who says you have to post it? Nobody's telling you you have to post it. You can watch it back and watch it for yourself and keep it for your family, or show your partner, or like show your kids when you're older. Nobody's forcing you to post it. That was my thing. And I kind of live in like my sister's a photographer, she does content. I've always done makeup content, so I've just been very chill with content. I just don't really care. I don't know. Like, I don't find it embarrassing because I'm posting things that I want to remember. So if someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, you're posting this, I'll be like, yeah, it was my trip. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this video is really not helpful to people because I don't have any advice, because I just don't feel that way. Don't get me wrong, if someone from my school says it to me, like I've had people from my old school say like, I've seen your content and it makes my toes curl, do not get me wrong.
get out. Get the hell out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray. I rebuke it in the name of the Lord.
When I'm 55, I'm going to be able to watch it back. Something that surprised me, I don't really know. Probably the fact that I was so okay with being alone, because don't get me wrong, I'm saying that I was fine and I can film content. I was anxious. Like, I don't want to give off the impression that, like, if you are thinking of doing it solo and you're absolutely crapping your pants, that is normal. Because when I booked that trip, I nearly threw my laptop across the room. Like, I booked it, I shut the laptop, ran downstairs to my mum, and I was like, what have I just done? Like, I was like, well, I don't know what I've just done. And then obviously it was like the planning and the prepping, and then the night before I was a nightmare. My boyfriend stayed around. I was not okay the night before. So I don't want to give the impression that, like, I wasn't completely confident. I wasn't like fine all the time. The night before was really bad. I was super anxious. I was like, what have I done? I can't do this. My bag's overweight. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, we spiraled. I was anxious, but yeah, I think it was as soon as I got on the plane, I thought, well, what the are you gonna do?
I've done it now.
You're
It's
on
too
the plane.
bleeding late.
You're on the plane. You can't do anything now. So that was kind of my mindset. And then yeah, I think when you get to Disney, it's such a whirlwind of like rides, merch, food, that your brain doesn't even have time to be anxious. And I am an anxious person. If you've been to Disney, you just understand that, like, it just goes away. I don't know how to describe it, but it does go away. Don't know why, don't know how, but the mouse does it. I had a lot of questions about my camera, what I edit on, and like just how I filmed and stuff. So the camera I took, actually, let me get you the camera. This is what I brought. If you are nervous about carrying your DJI, this is what I was carrying around. It is absolutely massive, and I would carry it around like this, like I was absolutely Britney Spears or something. So this is what I vlogged in, because obviously my trip was so last minute, I didn't buy myself a camera. So this was luckily my nan's one. I don't even know what it is. Nikon something, looks like this. Absolutely massive. I had to have this attachable mic because when I tried to do a little plug-in, you know, like the plug-in mics, it just for some reason wasn't working on this. So this is why I filmed a lot of it on my phone, because this was so heavy. Like, I would never take this again. This was so heavy, it took up so much room in my bag. Oh, never again. I'm so glad I got a new camera. But that is what I filmed on. And then obviously I just filmed on my phone, and I had these little mini mics that you've seen them in all my pictures, like all of my pictures. I've got this bloody mini mic on, but it just clips to my top, and then you just plug in the bottom to your phone, and it seemed to work. I did really struggle with the audio at Disney, so if anyone has filmed at Disney, let me know what you use for your mic, because yeah, I really struggled with picking up the background noise, because obviously this wasn't attached to me, so this was just picking up everything around me. So the audio isn't the best in my videos, but it was my first time vlogging like a whole series like that on my own, so I didn't mind. How did I take my solo pictures? So I either pictures like this, which I'll put on the screen, I asked a cast member, like the photo pass people took these pictures, and then other ones I just got strangers to take them. Like, the only thing about asking strangers is they do only take like one or two, and sometimes if they were like girly pop, I knew the vibe, I'd just be like, can you just tap? Like, I'd literally be like, just hold down the button and just keep tapping, and then they did that. I would take my tripod, which you're currently attached to, so I can't show you, and I have like this little Bluetooth clicker, and it's just from Amazon, and basically it Bluetooths to your phone, and then when you click the little button, I would just hold it in my hand. Like, I'll put some pictures, you can sometimes see it in my hand, but also sometimes you can't notice, and then yeah, basically when you click it, it just would do that, and that is how I did it, and that was actually really helpful. Don't get me wrong, I really struggled taking solo pictures because the heat in Florida, my phone was overheating so badly. Like, taking those first castle pictures, I was having a mare. My phone was dropping. I literally smashed my phone actually on the first day. I don't know if you can see how bad that all is. That was done in Florida because I dropped my phone off one of the bins trying to take pictures. But cast members, Bluetooth photo clicker, I cannot recommend enough. If I find it, I will link it in my Amazon below. And strangers. Even though that did give me a lot of anxiety, so I do understand if you don't want to do that. I get that, because honestly the courage, like I was like staring at strangers and then being like, please can you take my photo? So I do understand that. God, I need to take a breath. Oh, also someone asked what SD cards I use. I use I'm really bad at this stuff. I don't know what they're called. I will put a picture of what I use, but I'm pretty sure it's like the biggest storage that you can get on them. And that they worked in this one as well. And in my current camera, I've got the Sony one. And then my hard drive is just the Toshiba one. And that is what I use to plug into my MacBook Air. That's how I like put all my stuff and computer, and I have like a little adapter. I think I spoke about it all in my last one of my Disney vlogs. I did explain it all, but that is how I do it basically. SD card from the camera into the like transfer exporter into my laptop, and then all onto my hard drive. I make sure it's all on the hard drive, not on the actual laptop, because the laptop storage just cannot hold that amount of footage, you know what I mean? And then I got, what editing software do you use? So I use CapCut because for me it's super easy, because I'm not like, I love editing and I really like having like a certain style, but I'm not the best at it. Like I don't really know what I'm doing all the time. So for me, CapCut is the easiest. But CapCut did recently have like some funny terms and conditions. So I stopped using it and switched to Premiere Pro, which I think you can get on like a package with like Photoshop and things like that. My sister has it, so I'll be honest, I don't pay for it. That was so difficult. Like I edited 2 of my Disney vlogs on that. All the others were done on CapCut, but it just took me weeks to edit. So if I'm being honest, I went straight back to CapCut because I just needed to get the videos out, because it was just putting me so far behind. So I might go back to Premiere Pro like when I've got a bigger gap in videos, so I can spend more time on editing. I've had a lot of messages asking me what I edit on, and it's literally just CapCut. I do it on my laptop, which I think is a lot easier, because on the phone it's so small to edit on, like to push this audio and clip it and stuff. I did pay for premium for my Disney vlogs. I just did a 1-month trial because then I could edit out the audio backgrounds, because honestly some of the videos, clips I got, is just, you can just hear the background. You could probably tell from the audio in my videos it was really up and down. But all my other videos are CapCut, but I didn't get Pro for them, so you don't need Pro. I think that's it about what I use in film and stuff. Right now I've actually now got a new camera, and this is filmed on the Sony ZV, what is it? I think it's ZV-F1 Sony camera, which I really like. I filmed a few videos on this. And then the last questions is, do I have any tips and would I do it again? My tip would be, you're stressing yourself out more before you go. When, like, it's not really a tip, it's more just like, I promise you when you get there it's not going to be as stressful. The before is 10 times worse than actually doing it. Like when you're there you just don't care. Like, I don't know if you follow my TikTok and my Instagram, but when my trip was in May, obviously, as I said, I am still posting content in August. I made so much content, so you can see what I did when I was alone. Like, just take the time and just take all the pictures, all the videos. Like, I've got content for months from one trip. Like, people message me and they're like, oh, are you still in Florida? And I'm like, no. I just took a lot of content. Also, a tip would be, if you are going alone, do what you want, do the reservation you want, eat in the same restaurant 10 times over, go on a ride 3 times in a row. Like, use it to do whatever the hell you want. Also, buy whatever you want. I sure did. I posted a merch haul which will be up, so you've probably seen how much I bought. But yeah, I don't know, I'm really bad at advice, so maybe I shouldn't be doing this video. But if any of you are going solo, like, you can just message me on my Instagram. I remember I did message Morgan Rain before I went, because I know that she lives out in Florida. So don't get me wrong, I did message a few people when I messaged Morgan. She sent me a message back that was really lovely and kind of chilled me out. I did post a solo TikTok that it didn't go viral, but I got like 10k on it, so I had loads of girlies messaging me on that, so that really helped. So yeah, I think you just need like reassurance that like you're gonna be all good, you're gonna have the best time ever. I would do it, like, I want to do it again. I'm looking to do it again. I'm kind of scared that I'm not going to be able to go with other people now, because I just want to do what I want to do. I don't want to do what other people want to do. I want to do what I want to do. And I think for me as well, as much as Florida is scary and further away, it was a lot easier for me to do that than like Paris. Like, I don't know how confident I would be going solo to Paris just because of the language barrier. I think that would actually be harder for me than going to Florida, because obviously, yeah, you're in America and you can ask all the questions, you can ask for all the help that you need, so it was super easy. I cannot believe I've been talking for 40 minutes. Do you see what I mean? Do you see why I was fine on my own? I've just spoke for 40 minutes. I just speak to myself all day, every day. Okay, so just to end, I'm going to just do a little bit of a price breakdown. So obviously, as I said, the flights and hotel were $1,500. In the airport, like there and back, with breakfast, buying the Wi-Fi, taxis, all that stuff. Deposit, I spent 117. Food overall, like my whole trip, bearing in mind I didn't go to like Target, I didn't buy snacks. This is just either takeaways, dinners, snack. I spent 271, which works out like 40 a day. So it's not horrific. Ubers, as I said, was 156, and merch, £663. Now, I'm not saying that that's right. I don't suggest doing that. But anyway, so overall my trip cost me $2,755. But again, this was like once in a lifetime. I went all out. I spent £600 on merch. So it doesn't have to cost that much. $2,755 for 1 week in Florida. Solo, off-site, buying every snack, every merch that I wanted. I don't think is that bad, because currently I've been looking for September at All-Star Movie for solo, like just on my own, flights, hotel and tickets, and it is that much. So that is the amount for my whole trip, and I'm currently looking to go September next year to stay on site, and it's that much just to not even go there yet. Don't know if I'm delusional, but I think that's really good. Yeah, basically. So I just want to say thank you if you have messaged me about my solo trip. Honestly, it's like the nicest thing in the whole wide world. It makes my heart actually melt. So thank you so much for anyone messaging me, and people that have messaged me to say that I have made them book a solo trip. Like, blows my mind, because it's just me with my like 600 subs. Blows my mind that people are doing because they've watched my stuff. So honestly, thank you so much. And if you see my vlogs, I'm chaotic, I'm anxious, I get stressed very easily, and I managed to do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. And I recommend anyone that is thinking about it to go solo, because I'm really jealous and I want to go again. So if you do enjoy, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you haven't actually even seen any of my videos and this is the first one you're seeing, then I will link the playlist below, or it's just Disney playlist on my channel. I also have TikTok and Instagram that I'm still posting on. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we can manifest a trip in the future. Please, because I've got to see Fantasmic again. Please. Also, do you like my top? Another note. Isn't my top so stinking cute? Thank you guys so much. This is like the last Disney video now on my channel. I'm so stressed. Love you, love. Bye.